Hi guys, a super duper quick intro this time around. I'm preparing the material for the school. There are just few spots left for this first basically class that is starting on the 16th, the week of the 16th, so you still have time. You can contact me if you need to arrange some payment schedule. So my basically email and the website is below in the description. And also the next basically school term is going to be May the 15th. So maybe you kind of like want to target for the next kind of entry, which kind of could be better. So thank you so much for being here for me. I would highly appreciate if you like and subscribe and share. That means a lot to me. And also please follow me on Instagram and Facebook, because there I kind of have the tidbits about tarot. On Facebook you also have daily tarot, so that's something to look at. And lastly, join me for my live sessions. So for that you need to be a subscriber to be notified so you know when it is. And that's it. Talk to you next month. Love you. Lenormand. I am doing this like a couple of months, so that way we have Gypsy, 2 months, and then we have Lenormand in 2 months. And again, guys, this is general reading. For your personal reading, kind of contact me, and if you really want me to use Lenormand, which is usually great when you're using it for timing, just write it in. So, Leo. Some of you really are waiting some kind of news. Look at this. You have the stork and the child. So some news, some loyalty from somebody who is distant. You kind of, I can see here, thinking about reconciling with someone, but also not believing in it, and or the situation you're finding yourself have too many challenges to actually be realized. It is kind of like very interesting to me, because the snake and the whip, that could be your rival, right? Somebody who, view for attention of the partner that you like or the person that you like. The interesting part, the very first thing I notice is like two significators, the lady and the gentleman. The lady is in the house of the coffin, and the gentleman is basically on the very bottom, sort of like no energy whatsoever. So the lady kind of like has lots of energy, but kind of like is reaching the point of either some kind of conclusion or aha moment. There is like finality into some kind of decision. Keep in mind that also it could indicate sickness, something small and something nagging that could come your way. So increase your vitamins, sort of things like that, right? Since this is a general reading, both significators can represent you, or one of them can represent you, another one the partner, and its gender is not really important over here, right? But I will tell you different things that I see around each of these significators and sort of the general kind of house. Some of you are really obsessing over certain things. The mice is simply not a good card to get, and it's also in the house of a bear. I don't know if there is like finances that you were looking, maybe like things were leaking through your fingers, maybe this simply has been Mercury retrograde, you had expenses. This could also talk about taxes and things coming up to the surface. It could be also stuff at home that broke and that kind of like needed to be fixed. No, ladies. You also are tapping in the dark for some reason, because not only that you have the mice here, but you have the clouds in the house of the mice. So it's just like you don't even understand to some level that things are wrong, and that there are rodents literally maybe in your house, or that there are rodents in your life, and there's something is really getting off the rails. That can be connected to, and that's the only connection I actually see between you and this partner. So that's why it could be that you are not with this partner. There is like sort of like arm's length kind of situation at this stage. But I can see that some of you are willing to communicate and see what's going on. It's kind of really interesting because the letter is in the house of the woman. So it could be that a woman communicates over here, whether this is you or you're dealing with another woman. Kind of like the letter is definitely encouraging kind of situation. But it could be also something, because the lady is falling in the house of the coffin. It could be some kind of finality, because we are having the skies, the book, and the tower. So the sky is something sharp, cuts it like a tongue. It could be like somebody just like giving you their peace of mind. But sometimes you push buttons in people and they will give you that peace of the mind that you actually really want to find out. The book is like finally, and that's why there is this healing sign over here. It is something that opens up and uncovers, and whether these are kind of like hidden things inside of us or inside of somebody else, you see these two things like 26 and 27 are definitely connecting. It might be finding something out that is kind of not very pleasant, because if you really think about it, this is house 27. Oops, that's 27. No, something is wrong. This is 27. Is it? Wait a minute. Oh yeah, the woman is 29. Okay, I'm completely Mercury retrograde. So 27, 28, 29. The woman is 29. So that's what I'm trying to say. He's 28. This is 27, right? This is 26. You can see that there is like something culminating, right? Because one person is really not in a position to say much. I have to say, this is probably the worst spot to get, and this is the cross in the house of the cross. Karma at play. Big times. So, as far as the letter, this person is trying to maybe get out of the situation through different means. Look at this. They're getting, like, they're trying to kind of like see something in the distance, whether somebody distant or the partner is distant, and maybe reuniting with a partner, maybe an ex, maybe you. But that's kind of like something has kind of died down in the past because of some challenges that has been basically happening over here, right? But this person here is a talker, right? And because the letter is is basically a card of text and news and things basically written down on screen. So email, text messages, WhatsApp, whatever you guys do, kind of like things, right? But the clouds is kind of like nearby. So that generally talks about some bad news, and the fog's sneaky. This person really thinks that they can influence the situation. This is kind of like really funny because this person has no chance to do that. This person is like in a karmic timeout. You stayed there because almost like they're giving a chance to kind of like fess up and come out clean. But I have to tell you, I see this person is extremely angry. angry. This person is obsessed with money, because we have the bear and we have the fish. This could be somebody self-employed and who may have had some kind of successes with his self-employment. But this is the person who is facing their own karma. And this is tough because you cannot beat karma. No. You literally have to do the right things. And I'm seeing here, look, wherever I look, the whip. Hey, I'll get angry, I will argue with you, I'll be mouthy, I will gaslight, or I'll be sneaky, I'll be passive aggressive, or I'll be even more sneaky, I'll send you something that is very cryptic. This also can be sort of like asking somebody for divorce, right? Or even trying to kind of like benefit out of it. So it is kind of like really interesting, because if you are waiting to hear from this person, if this is the closure that some of you are trying to reach because the lady being in the coffin house, it's kind of like a bittersweet for some of you, because you kind of like want to hear from this person. You want to kind of figure out also the truth of the matter, the book. You want to find out what the heck is in that book, who is in that house, and the house is in the house of a child. You almost have a suspicion that maybe somebody is behind your back with somebody else, and maybe that other person being pregnant, sort of a thing. So Leos, you're kind of dealing with interestingly enough, karmic situation, no matter which basically significator you are in this case. The good news is that few of you, but there will be those few, they will so kind of like come to their sense of who they are and where they want to go. Because you have the girls, the birds. I cannot speak today. Any language, never mind, just English. The birds, which is a communication, which is kind of good news, but sometimes this is basically even lovebirds. And so maybe it could be some kind of like really good messages happening and coming kind of like your way. And then you have basically, you know, the ring in the house of the heart, and heart and the ring, ta-da! So the tower would be that official kind of like signing of everything, but there's this but that we have the snake and the kite here, and I don't like that snake is close to the house, right? So I think it's like kind of that understanding, do I really want this person? And what price am I willing to pay for it? But I really think for some of you, conversations will take place. And for some of you, the sun will shine. This also can be connected to work. For some reason, the sun is falling in the house of fame and honor. But I really think, given the context, it's going to be more about, you're Leo, you're very proud. And the sun is generally the card in tarot. Not necessarily here, but here is the sun is that optimistic card. I'm really seeing you guys going through the ringer over here. And this newfound optimism is kind of like arriving. So imagine you open the door in the morning and there is this beautiful sunshine that you just like feel, oh my gosh, the life is worth living when I see the sun like that. So I really see that it's going to be kind of interesting that you maybe are dealing with somebody with whom had a karmic bond, and it's kind of like time to say, okay, you know what? This price is too much. I am not willing to pay for it. And I do know what they want, and I want this ring on the finger, and I want kind of like to get my life back, because the sun is positivity, right? The sun is kind of like feeling good, pushing forward. So Leos is going to be a really interesting period for you. I really hope that most of my viewers fall into this category. It's like aha moment, no, I'm going to sign this if this is divorce or something, or it simply could be, I get it. You know what? Thanks for stopping by, because it does look like that communication might be happening. but this communication could also be very controlling. So be very careful about that. And I think you're going to literally see it, because you guys are so sick and fed up of everything. And it's just like simply sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes we pay too much for being with somebody, and you'll realize, I have to cut my losses, it's over. And if you do that, guys, you're moving in a direction that actually can push you into really falling in love really quickly. And not only falling in love, but marrying and having kind of like package deal kind of like coming together. So I would like to hear your comments and see like what the heck's going on here, Leo. I have so many messages. And again, general reading, guys. If you want a private one, contact me via cattarot.ca. I please ask you to share, subscribe, and like, and join Tarot School. The first basically group is small, very tiny group, and they're going to be my pioneers. The second group might be pioneering as well, but it's starting on the 15th of May, so you can jump on that one. And that's it for me. I thank you very much for basically sitting through it. I would really appreciate if I can hear from you, and until the next time, check me out on Instagram and Facebook. Love you.